Well, as you can see, there's a massive turnout here, and it shows the depth of feeling that there is right along this border. That what looks like is going to be imposed on us is going to be fought against all the way. People do not want this. We do not want to return to what we had here 20 years ago, with a border reimposed on us, and we intend to fight against that tooth and nail. The result of the border community is to pressurise both the British and the Irish government to make sure that this doesn't happen. We intend to if it takes 2 or 3 years for them to try and to impose this on us, then we intend to fight it all the way. This is not something that should be allowed to happen. And we would ask all our politicians from whatever parties to come along and support us in this. This affects communities, unionists, nationalists. It doesn't matter what your politics are. If you live along this border, this is bad news.
Who voted for us?
England voted for it.
Yeah, and where's England? It's the far side of the water.
Most of Ireland voted to stay.
It's the far side of the water, so it is. Let them stay on the far side of the water.
For this man here, what would you want to happen? Would you like this every day?
No. You can't afford this every day.
Firstly, I want to commend the group Border Communities Against Brexit for organising this across the border today. There's 8 points of protest. We're here at Carcarn today. I'm absolutely delighted to see such a massive crowd. Brexit is possibly the biggest thing that's ever happened to us in a generation. And I think people here know all too well the hardships of partition and division. And so people are gathering here today really to call on the British government to respect the democratic will of the people of the north of Ireland and to respect the Remain vote.
My name is Michael McFadden. I used to be a customs officer here from 1966 to 1982, and I certainly don't want to see the border back, because a lot of businesses are straddling the border in Newry and Dundalk, so it'll be an awful disadvantage to these people, dividing the country again.
Well, we're here to protest now over the possibility of the border being closed and restrictions have been imposed on our citizens. We want the border removed, and we're also here to protest on behalf of the people who are going to suffer as a result of this.
Well, Tashi, Sillier un Chaktarak that I Chaktas Powell Harachuran and you Cussel forward Winter Nishe Conde go well Dini Six Counter has Shaw Igiri Fanacht Mark Era Umlin Teo Steed in the end of Sorpak Morris Sinn and Rullis Far the Winter Naheran Tashir Son Lasso Winter Naheran August Sinn and Chaktarak Sillier a Bay or Realtus Nabratanya August Realtus Nishe Conde Esfiha Glaku Ledanlahis forward in the image.
I'm here because I'm fearful that the erection of a hard border, and that's what's going to happen if we're not careful, will have serious implications for an all-island health service. The citizens of this island deserve an all-island health service, and this gets further and further away the closer we get to a hard border.
It was an excellent protest, an excellent demonstration of what would happen with a hard border. The protest was very effective in getting a message across to people that the farming community across the island of Ireland is going to be impacted massively. There's billions of pounds of trade done with the UK, there's millions of pounds of trade done between the North and the Republic on an annual basis. There's £2.3 billion of EU funds for 6 years currently being given to farmers, and we are being seriously asked and being told by the British government that this is not going to be an issue going forward. They're telling lies, and I for one absolutely do not believe them.
Great to see so many people here today to protest against Brexit. The Border Communities Against Brexit are very well organised, great turnout, speeches were very good, very much to the point, all about farming, about business, about the family sector, how that will impact on this border community which has suffered for many, many years. And my own constituency of South Armagh, we are net beneficiaries of European money, so it's essential that we maintain that union with Europe and that the Brexit doesn't happen for us.
I'm from the volunteering community sector, and my message today is if we lose EU funding, it's going to hit the most deprived in our area, the disabled, the elderly, the people with mental health issues, because a lot of the EU funding we have goes towards supporting those people, and we're going to take a backward step and not a forward step in supporting these people in our local community.
Well, I welcome the turnout today. It shows that border communities and those who support border communities are deeply concerned about Brexit and the impact of the North being dragged out of the European Union against its will. The reenactment we've seen here today is theatre. but what we're looking at is the possible future for this border communities and indeed for the island of Ireland and the economy of Ireland. Brexit means borders, it means barriers, it means customs posts, and it means a disruption of community life in areas that suffered during the conflict, have a right to the dividends of the peace process, and are being dragged back to the past. I'm calling on Republicans, Nationalists, Unionists, those of no label who are opposed to the North being dragged out of the European Union to come out and show their opposition to it, to lobby their local councillors, their MLAs, their MPs, their TDs to ensure that their voices are being heard. Brexit is not a done deal. Things can change here, there's still opportunity to shape the future, and we can shape it in a positive way if we use our collective energies.